Picture this. A swanky television studio, lights flickering and cameras rolling. At the helm is our liberal talk show host, a notorious fire-breathing dragon of the media world, known for their sharp wit and incisive commentary. Tonight's guest? None other than Clint Eastwood, legendary actor, director, and a man who has never shied away from sharing his conservative views. As you might imagine, sparks are bound to fly on such an evening where ideologies clash. The stage is set for an electrifying verbal duel that promises to be more riveting than any Hollywood blockbuster. The host begins with a barrage of questions aimed at belittling Eastwood's political stance. It's a scene we've witnessed countless times before, the liberal lion cornering its conservative prey. But wait, just when it appears that Eastwood has been backed into a corner, he does something unexpected. With the calmness of Dirty Harry and the conviction of Walt Kowalski, he fires back an epic response so profound that it leaves not just our fiery host but everyone in the studio momentarily speechless. This isn't your typical Hollywood script where heroes are manufactured behind green screens. This is real life where reputations can be made or broken in mere seconds. As quickly as Eastwood's response escaped his lips, it spread like wildfire across social media platforms worldwide and went viral. You see, my friend, moments like these remind us how powerful words can be when delivered with authenticity and courage under pressure. They have the power to turn humiliation into triumph. This story isn't merely about who emerged victorious from that TV studio. No, it's much bigger than that. This tale shows us what happens when conviction stares down intimidation, when humility overcomes humiliation, and boy, oh boy, what an epic lesson Clint Eastwood. You've been in countless films, won numerous awards, and yet here you are, staring down the barrel of a TV camera as an abrasive talk show host tries to belittle you on live television. Now picture this. Instead of losing your cool or backing down, you calmly deliver a response so profound it becomes an internet sensation overnight. The scene unfolded like any other day in the set of a liberal talk show. There was the usual studio audience eager for drama and the host who seemed hungry to stir up controversy. And then there was Clint Eastwood, unassuming in his demeanor but with an air that commanded respect. He was invited onto the show ostensibly to discuss his latest film project, but soon found himself being interrogated about his political views. The host's line of questioning quickly took a turn from professional curiosity to personal attack. He tried to paint Eastwood as an out-of-touch conservative, peppering him with loaded questions designed not to provoke thought, but simply humiliate him in front of their viewers. But if he expected Clint to crumble under public scrutiny, well, he clearly didn't know who he was dealing with then. As anyone familiar with Eastwood's work would know, whether they agree with his politics or not, this man doesn't scare easily. This is Dirty Harry we're talking about after all. Someone who has spent decades standing up against bullies both on-screen and off-screen. But rather than firing back at the host with hostility or walking off set altogether, both reactions which would have been understandable given the circumstances, Eastwood chose another way out, with grace and humor that surprised everyone watching, and probably even himself. He turned what could have been an ugly confrontation into something much more meaningful. Clint looked deep into the camera lens, effectively looking right at millions of viewers sitting in their living rooms, and with a voice as steady as the gaze he held, he made his point. His words were simple but impactful, a stark contrast to the host's inflammatory rhetoric. They didn't attack or belittle. Instead, they spoke of understanding and unity. The humility in his response was enough to silence even his most vocal critics. It was a lesson on how conviction can indeed stare down intimidation, and it went viral almost immediately. And so began the saga of Clint Eastwood's epic response, a testament to the power of maintaining grace under fire that continues to resonate with people around the world today. So, let's dive right back into the story. Clint Eastwood, a figure synonymous with unwavering determination and cool confidence, was invited to a talk show, its host known for his liberal views. The stage was set for an explosive conversation. The moment Clint walked onto the stage, he faced a barrage of stinging comments slung like arrows from a fast-paced bowman. Questions were fired at him, each one loaded with insinuations and underhanded jabs. It was clear, this wasn't going to be your typical celebrity interview. It had more in common with an ambush. But here comes the twist you've been waiting for. our hero didn't flinch. He didn't retaliate or lose his composure as many might have done under such pressure. Instead, he handled it like only Clint Eastwood could. Let me paint you this picture. Imagine being caught off guard by an unexpected blizzard while hiking up a mountain trail. Sheets of snow crashing down on you from all directions without any warning. Overwhelming, isn't it? Yet instead of panic setting in, you calmly put on your winter gear, adjust your footing, and keep moving forward undeterred. That's exactly what Clint did. He donned his figurative coat of patience and moved forward through the storm of provocation with grace and dignity intact. And then came that epic response that still reverberates around the globe today when asked if he felt out of touch being a conservative in Hollywood's largely liberal landscape. Eastwood replied, "No matter how far out of touch someone may think I am, because I'm not following their script does not change who I am or what I stand for." With those words echoing throughout the studio, silence felt like a soft blanket over roaring flames, extinguishing any remaining sparks of hostility. That statement wasn't just about him defending his political beliefs, but rather about standing up for individuality and personal freedom. This wasn't just a powerful response to an overeager host on a talk show. It was a message to the world. It's okay to stand alone, be different, and have your own convictions, even if they aren't popular. Clint Eastwood's epic reply wasn't about winning or losing an argument, but rather about maintaining grace under fire and standing tall amidst adversity. A lesson we all can learn from, no matter what storms we face in our lives. And that, my friend, is why this story continues to resonate with people till today. Now, let's dive into the main event you've been waiting for. The epic clash between our liberal talk show host and none other than Clint Eastwood himself. Picture this. A bustling studio audience. An ambience thick with anticipation, and a conversation that was about to take an unexpected turn. The host, well known for his sharp wit and unabashed stance towards conservatives, began by taking jabs at Eastwood's political beliefs. He questioned Clint's support of traditional values in a rapidly evolving society. The room echoed with laughter as he cleverly twisted Eastwood's words, painting him as an out-of-touch relic from the past. But amidst the laughter and applause, Eastwood remained stoic, his eyes betraying no hint of discomfort or anger. Instead, there was a twinkle. One might even say amusement, as he patiently waited for silence to descend once more. When it did, Clint leaned forward in his chair and fixed the smirking host with a steady gaze. "You know," he began slowly, every word meticulously chosen yet delivered with such natural ease that it commanded absolute attention. "I've noticed something about folks who love to ridicule others' beliefs." His voice rang out clear across the silent set, so different from the boisterous laughter just moments before. "They're often afraid." He paused slightly here, letting those two words hang heavy in the air before continuing on. "Afraid because they don't have any strong beliefs themselves. They hide behind sarcasm and jests because it's easier than standing up for what they genuinely believe and inwardly believe." Need now. And just like that, the tables turned. The audience gasped collectively while some broke into spontaneous applause. The host stuttered, trying to regain control, but it was too late. Clint had seized the narrative brilliantly. This moment went viral not simply because Clint Eastwood stood up against humiliation, but also due to his profound insight wrapped in simplicity. It wasn't a rehearsed punchline or a dramatic monologue. It was pure, unadulterated truth. This exchange is more than just an epic comeback. It's a reminder that courage and conviction often trump mockery and contempt. In our lives, too, we may face ridicule for standing by our beliefs. But remember Clint's words: those who mock are often the ones afraid to stand firm on their own ground. Therefore, let not the noise of others drown your voice. Stand tall, stay resilient, and like Eastwood did that day in the studio, turn the tables with your unwavering truth as we delve deeper into our tale. It's essential to remember that it's not just about the legendary Clint Eastwood. No, it's about you and me. It's about every person who has ever been underestimated or disregarded because their beliefs didn't align with the mainstream narrative. So let's return to that moment when Eastwood sat unflinching in the face of humiliation on live television. The liberal talk show host had just delivered a scathing monologue aimed at discrediting him. But instead of retaliating with anger or cowering in embarrassment, Eastwood did something extraordinary. With a calm smile and the grace of a seasoned actor, he took command of the scene like an old-school director handling a rebellious starlet. His response was so composed and profound that it resonated beyond the studio walls, rippling through social media feeds and family dinner conversations across the globe. Eastwood reminded us all of an essential truth. We are more than labels slapped onto us by others. He stood up against his public ridiculing not as Clint Eastwood, conservative Hollywood icon, but as Clint Eastwood, human being with valid viewpoints shaped by personal experiences. Now imagine if each one of us embodied this spirit in our daily interactions. Consider how different our workplace discussions would be if, rather than dismissing colleagues based on their political affiliations, we engaged them as individuals with unique insights. Or think about how much richer our friendships could be if we stopped categorizing friends based on their ideology. It's worth noting that standing your ground doesn't mean shutting off opposing views or stifling healthy debates. Quite contrary to that, it means engaging in respectful dialogues, where disagreements aren't taken personally, but seen as opportunities for growth and understanding. The viral impact of Eastwood's response wasn't due to his fame alone. It was because he spoke for millions feeling unheard amidst today's polarized climate. And while we might not all have the platform of a Hollywood star, we do hold the power to make our voices heard in our circles. So take a page out of Eastwood's script. The next time you're faced with a misguided attack on your beliefs, remember his calm demeanor and wise words. Don't let anyone's preconceived notions define you or undermine your voice. Stand tall and speak your truth. After all, it's not about winning an argument. It's about ensuring that everyone around the table gets heard and respected, no matter how diverse their views might be. Like Eastwood did that day on air, turn tables with your unwavering truth, you see. The beauty of democratic discourse is that it allows for a multitude of perspectives. And then through that cacophony of voices, clarity emerges. It's an orchestra with each instrument playing a unique tune yet contributing to one harmonious melody. The day Clint Eastwood was cornered on a liberal talk show serves as an example of such symphony. Picture this: a Hollywood legend walks onto a stage marked by intense political divide. He's got a reputation so potent it precedes him. The host, known for his liberal tirades, begins what seems like an ambush disguised as an interview. But Eastwood doesn't flinch. He doesn't take the bait. Instead, he remains steadfast in his truth, unapologetically conservative and defiantly respectful. As the host tries to belittle him with snide comments and loaded questions aimed at undermining his credibility and beliefs, Eastwood responds not with anger but with grace. His words are measured but firm, a testament to how powerful silence can be when used astutely against noise. And then comes his epic response that goes viral. We're all different, that's what makes us interesting. It's simple yet profound. An echo of wisdom resonating across millions who watched it unfold live on their screens. Now imagine if everyone responded like Eastwood did. Not just celebrities or politicians, but ordinary folks like you and me engaged in everyday conversations at our workplaces or dinner tables. What if we stopped trying to shout over each other and instead listened? Really listened to each other. Imagine the power such conversations could have. The bridges they could build. Imagine how much more insightful our discussions could become if we embraced diversity, not just tolerated, and learned from those different than us. Eastwood didn't just defend himself that day. He reminded us all of something we often forget amidst heated debates. That respect isn't about agreeing with others' views, but acknowledging them. This isn't about Eastwood's political affiliations or his beliefs. It's not even about who was right and who was wrong on that talk show. It's about the art of conversation, the act of listening, understanding, and responding with respect and dignity, a lesson we all must learn, regardless of our political leanings. Remember, the beauty of democracy lies in its diversity, but its strength is derived from respectful discourse. Like Eastwood that day on air, let's turn tables with our unwavering truth. In the world of politics, when tempers flare and minds are set in stone, It's rare to witness a moment where someone manages to break through the noise with a message so powerful that it resonates across party lines. When Clint Eastwood found himself on the hot seat of a liberal talk show, he demonstrated this rare feat. Our tale begins with Eastwood, an esteemed actor and director, quietly seated before a live audience. Across him sat his host for the evening, assertive in tone, quick-witted by nature, and known for his ability to unsettle guests with his unyielding liberal perspective. The stage was set for yet another fiery confrontation. As anticipated, the host wasted no time launching into a tirade aimed at discrediting Eastwood's conservative views. Accusations flew thick and fast. However, Eastwood remained calm amid the storm. He listened patiently as words intended to provoke were fired like arrows towards him. Finally came that pivotal moment when Eastwood got his chance to respond. Surely this would be where heated words would be exchanged. But no. Instead of rising to the bait or becoming defensive under attack, he simply smiled and began speaking in measured tones. "I respect your passion," he said humbly. "But democracy isn't about proving who can shout loudest or who can intimidate their opponent into silence." With these words echoing in the studio air, you could have heard a pin drop. Drawing from real-life examples, just as we're doing now while recounting this instance, he shared stories of people from different walks of life. Farmers facing droughts due to climate change,